Advanced Driver Assistance Systems. Advanced Driver Assistance Systems, also known as ADAS, are technologies that provide a driver with essential information, automate difficult or repetitive tasks, and lead to an overall increase in car safety for everyone. Some of these technologies have been around for a long time, and they have already proven to result in an improved driving experience and better overall road safety. ADASs are right on the cutting edge of emerging automotive technologies. Collision warning and avoidance systems, also known as CWA. A collision warning system operates generally in the following manner. A sensor installed at the front of the vehicle constantly scans the road ahead for vehicles or obstacles. If an obstacle is found, the system will determine whether the vehicle is in imminent danger of crashing, and if so, a collision warning is given to the driver. The sensors used fulfill the task of obstacle detection and tracking, which is the basis of collision warning sensing techniques. Bosch is involved in advanced driver assistance systems, such as adaptive cruise control, adaptive light control, typically referred to by the term Advanced Front Lighting Systems, or AFS, automatic braking, automatic parking, blind spot detection. Bosch is the world market leader for radar sensors with 77 gigahertz technology. One sensor facilitates several driver assistance systems. With its mid-range radar sensor, Bosch has made radar technology affordable for the general market. The mid-range radar sensor is used, for example, in some VWs, which means that it can be found in the price-sensitive segment for small and compact cars. Part of the advanced driver assistance systems is the adaptive cruise control. The adaptive distance and speed control system actively assists the driver in keeping a safe distance from the vehicle in front of them. While driving, the adaptive cruise control maintains the speed set by the driver and can automatically adapt this speed to changing traffic by throttling back, braking, or accelerating. The stop and go version can bring the vehicle to a standstill and will resume automatically when instructed by the driver. When combined with a rear-end collision warning system, the ACC can reduce the amount of heavy braking on freeways by 67%. It also results in 73% fewer instances of tailgating. In Germany, the ACC was found in 8% of all new cars starting in 2014, which is twice as many vehicles with this technology as after the first Bosch evaluation a year before. The Bosch Adaptive Cruise Control, there are three types of sensors that may be used. First is the mid-range MRR sensor. The antenna design enables a range of up to 525 feet or 262 feet to the rear, and a field of view of up to 42 degrees or 150 degrees to the rear. Bosch also has the long-range radar sensor, also known as the LRR4. The central 4 antenna feature Optima proprietaries for recording the vehicle's surroundings at high speed. They create a focus beam pattern providing excellent long-range detection with minimal interference from traffic and adjacent lanes. In the near range, the LRR4's outer 2 antenna expand the field of view, making it possible to quickly detect vehicles entering or leaving the vehicle's lane. The stereo camera's two-color imagers have a resolution of 1280 by 960 pixels. Using a powerful lens system, the camera records a horizontal field of view of 50 degrees and offers a 3D measurement range of more than 164 feet. The image sensors, which feature high sensitivity and dynamic lighting technology, can process high contrast images and cover the wavelength range that is visible to the human eye. This stereo camera's two-color imagers have a resolution of 1280 by 960 pixels. So how good is 1280 by 960 pixels? The picture on the left is a clip from a 1600 by 1200 image, typically that of a 2 megapixel digital camera. The same image rendered at 1280 by 960, then resized back to the 1200. There's not much difference, is there? Automatic braking. The automatic braking is a pre-crash technology that is designed to reduce the severity of high-speed collisions in the event of a lapse of a driver's attention. While some automatic braking systems can actually prevent collisions, they're typically meant to slow the vehicle to a point where less damage is caused and fatalities are unlikely. Bosch's Predictive Emergency Braking, called PEB, consists of a Predictive Collision Warning, PCW, an Emergency Brake Assist, EBA, and Automatic Emergency Braking, AEB. These technologies can warn the driver of a potential collision, determine when the driver is not fully braking, and intervene accordingly. When in an emergency braking situation, the driver may experience the following. During predictive collision warning, the driver is warned via a short yet perceivable brake pulse and/or automatic seatbelt retraction. During emergency brake assist, upon initial partial braking by the driver, the EBA automatically increases the brake pressure to the required level for the given situation. AEB initiates automatic emergency braking if a collision is unavoidable. Parking assist. An ultrasonic sensor integrated into the side of the front bumper scans the side of the road to detect a suitable parallel or perpendicular space. Ultrasonic sensors work according to the sonic altimeter principle. Bats orientate themselves with the same principle. The sensors send out short ultrasonic pulses, which are reflected by barriers. The echo signals are registered by the sensors and are evaluated by a central control unit. Once a parking space is detected, the system alerts the driver. Once the driver activates the assistant, the system calculates the best possible path into the space, as well as the necessary steering maneuver. Once complete, the parking assistant takes control by allowing the driver to let go of the steering wheel and only control the parking maneuver by accelerating and braking. The assistant also helps with pulling out of the parking space. Parking assistant technology takes control of all steering maneuvers in order to direct the car into a position from which the driver can safely pull out of the space.
Bosch currently produces a wide variety of innovative comfort and driver assistance systems, and without a doubt, park steering control falls into this category. An ultrasonic sensor measures the length and depth of a parking space as the vehicle is driving past. As soon as the parking assistant identifies a suitable parking space, everything else is done at the push of a button. The system calculates the best possible approach in split-second intervals and automatically steers the vehicle into the selected parking space. All the driver has to do is carefully operate the accelerator and brake pedal to maintain control of the vehicle at all times. Several warning stages give the driver constant updates on the remaining distance between the vehicle and an obstacle. What's more, Bosch has now added functions to make the driving experience even more comfortable and safe, such as the pull-out control. After activating the system, the driver simply switches on the indicator to confirm the pull-out intention. The driver can start the maneuver moving forwards or backwards. The system communicates the required steering angles directly to the electric power steering, which automatically performs all steering moves. The driver's tasks are limited to operating accelerator and brake pedal and changing gears, so he or she can concentrate fully on the pull-out process. In the case of a critical approach to adjacent vehicles, a warning signal is emitted from the system. Due to the extremely quick automatic steering moves, in no time at all the vehicle reaches a position which allows it to drive straight out of the space. A signal then indicates that the driver should resume control of the steering.
Blind spot detection. The side view assist is active between 3 to 111 miles per hour. The system assists the driver in complex traffic situations involving low relative speeds. 2 ultrasonic sensors on either side of the vehicle serve as the electronic eyes and monitor the space in the adjacent lane, allowing the system to cover the dangerous blind spot. If another vehicle is situated in the monitored area, the driver is alerted to the potential danger by means of a warning sign in the side mirror. If the driver fails to spot or ignores this warning and activates the turn signal to change lanes, the system can also trigger an audible warning. The system recognizes stationary objects on or alongside the road, such as guardrails, masts, or parked vehicles, as well as the driver's own overtaking maneuvers, and does not trigger the warning in this case.
Around 5% of all accidents occur during lane changes or overtaking maneuvers because the driver has failed to see an adjacent vehicle in the blind spot area. To improve safety in such situations, Bosch has developed the Side View Assist, the world's first ultrasonic blind spot monitoring system. Side View Assist employs 4 highly sensitive ultrasonic sensors integrated into both ends of the front and rear bumpers. The sensors monitor the traffic in the neighboring lane in a 3-meter area alongside and diagonally to the rear, covering precisely the dangerous blind spot zone. The system is activated from walking speed and supports the driver in complex traffic situations at speeds of up to 180 kilometers per hour. It is thus especially suited for use in urban traffic. As soon as the Side View Assist detects a vehicle moving parallel, an LED warning signal lights up in the side view mirror, gently informing the driver that another vehicle is in close proximity. If in such a situation, the driver then signals to indicate a lane change, the blind spot monitoring assistant triggers an audible warning as well. The system informs the driver of vehicles that are overtaking, as well as those already within the blind spot area. Warnings are only given for vehicles that pose a potential risk during lane change. Oncoming traffic, road infrastructure, and vehicles being speedily overtaken are recognized by the system, but do not trigger a warning. The Side View Assist from Bosch simulates to some degree the over-the-shoulder check, and thus supports the driver in safely maneuvering a vehicle through the complexities of everyday traffic.
When we look at driver assistance or ADAS systems, you have to ask, how will this technology impact your business? If the windshield is replaced, is it possible it will affect any of the guidance sensors? If you need to replace a headlight bulb, is there a calibration that will need to be done? If any front fascia or side panels are removed to complete any type of repairs, will it affect any of the guidance sensors? Need for service information at time of repairs will be more important than ever. Every body shop knows to check the dashboard for lights before delivering the vehicle to the customer. The collision industry has relied on this method for decades, but that is no longer adequate for many reasons, including more systems equals more lights. Trying to decode and find the fix for a light without the proper equipment is nearly impossible. More complex systems mean more complex repairs. Fewer and fewer simple fixes for dashboard lights exist. These systems may require a module reset. Many systems don't show on a dashboard. This can lead to delivering a car with certain systems not working, such as air conditioning, which leads to an irate customer and longer, more expensive repairs. Many manufacturers now require or recommend pre and post repair scans. General Motors, Toyota, Fiat Chrysler, Honda, Nissan, and Mercedes have all said that pre and post repair scans are needed to ensure complete repairs. Those 6 manufacturers sold over 11,300,000 vehicles in 2016. This number represents 65% of the 17,500,000 vehicles sold in 2016. Every collision shop will need to repair these vehicles according to the manufacturer's procedures. Industry experts recommend scanning every vehicle during the initial estimate. Most body shops outsource scanning or forego scanning altogether, leading to longer cycle times as well as risk customer satisfaction and lost profits. When is a scan tool required? Unfortunately, the question doesn't have a simple answer. It will often be based on the age of the vehicle, the type and the extent of the damage, and which options the vehicle is equipped with. Collision repair professionals will have to apply a level of sound judgment to each vehicle that requires repairs. A scratch in the bumper cover of a late model vehicle won't likely need diagnostic work performed, but a frontal collision with multiple airbag deployments likely will. Fiat Chrysler released their position statement related to the use of scan tools following collisions. This was posted June of 2016. According to Fiat Chrysler, there are a number of conditions that could trigger diagnostic trouble codes prior to or during collision repairs. On April 17th of 2017, ASA released a position statement on pre and post repair system scanning. This statement coincides with many of the recently released statements issued by the OEMs. It says the Automotive Service Association supports the electronic scanning of all vehicles prior to and after collision repairs are being completed in order to ensure that all potential damage has been identified to achieve a safe and complete repair. So here's the new collision repair dilemma. We have 2 crashed vehicles, a 2014 Dodge Durango with a left rear hit. We have a 2015 Chevrolet Impala with a left front hit. What vehicle has the most hidden damage? How many codes did a Durango have on the pre-scan test? 11. How many codes did the Impala have on the pre-scan test? 0. The bottom line is, you can't tell by looking. You need to perform a pre-scan. Remember, Fiat Chrysler Automobile stated any of the following conditions could trigger DTCs prior to or during collision repairs, which could result in improper vehicle performance. Now check these out. If a vehicle is involved in an accident or collision, even though the damage may appear minor, the vehicle has been in an accident with or without an airbag deployment, voltage loss, including battery disconnects and hybrid battery disabling, significant vehicle disassembly, including, but not limited to, bumpers, door handles, headlamps, mirrors. How about interior trim repair or removal? What about glass removal and replacement operations? Is this a game changer for the collision body shops? Here's where the OEs stand on pre and post scans. There are the 6 manufacturers that we just talked about and where they stand for pre and post scans. Now the next question you're probably going to ask, do shops get paid? Though there is no standard in the industry as of yet, shops are getting paid for about 70% of the pre and post repair scans, but it depends on a few factors. Having a printed or a digital report for each scan is key to getting paid. Some insurers pay for them without issue. Some require some negotiation. And rates can vary by area, scan method, and even the insurer. Now that we know what the OEMs are recommending or requiring us to do, what equipment and training will shops need? Number one, you're going to need a quality scan tool that's capable of accurate and complete pre and post scans with accompanying diagnostic reports. 2, you're going to need a battery maintainer or a high-end battery jump box. You can't accurately scan a vehicle that has a weak battery. And possibly you'll want copies of the OEM position statements regarding properly conducting these required recommended scans. The insurance company will most likely ask for these if you want to get paid for your work along with the pre and post repair scan reports or results. And then training on how do you do these procedures properly. And you'll also want a standard operating procedure as part of your training procedures for your shop. Are there alternatives to all this? Yes. Outsourcing the work to dealerships is generally the most expensive option, both in terms of actual cost and cycle time delays. Now, the pros, you've got no investment on scan tools or training. The cons, increase cycle time significantly. Increase labor costs more than diagnostic investment. And then little to no profit for the body shop. Next, might be using mobile technicians because they offer scanning, although generally only in urban areas. The pros, again, no investment on scan tools. And number 2, hands-off diagnostic component of the repair. The cons, increase cycle time significantly, increase labor cost more than diagnostic investment, and little to no profit again for the body shop. Remote scanning, where off-site technicians scan vehicles hooked up at the shops via the internet. This may be a great solution, but it's very expensive. The pros, minimal training required for your technicians. It decreases cycle time versus outsourcing, and it has a low initial investment for scan tools. Cons, that has a limited ability, can only scan, clear, and report. There's going to be an extra investment needed for system repairs. This can take an hour or more on a business day. The charge per scan lowers profitability, and it has a much longer return on investment. Let's look at what you need to do this in-house. So body shops investing in the diagnostic tools. Pros, lower equipment investment than remote services. You have the ability to fix most issues right then in-house. Has the highest profitability and the fastest ROI. It's the fastest pre and post repair scans or repairs. Cons, it requires training for technicians, and then of course you got tools and update cost. The tools need to be easy to use and have embedded user-assisted diagnostics and operational help. It must have in-depth software and module coverage. Can you see the importance of having the right tools and knowledge to deal with these new technologies?